Hello, welcome to Longshot Larry's Sports Astrology. Today we're looking at the big game between India and New Zealand in the ICC T20 World Cup. Both these teams lost their first game to Pakistan, so this is a crucial game for them in securing their way into the finals. So they both need to win this game. So here we have the game chart. The ascendant Taurus is India. They are red hot favourites. And the descendant Scorpio, so Mars is the ruler, represents New Zealand. First thing you can see from this chart is there's not much going on. Uranus is 3 degrees past the ascendant, so I think that's too far away. Neptune is 2 degrees away from joining the part of fortune. Once again, that's too far away. If it was within a degree, I would count that. Saturn is 4 degrees from the MC, once again too far away. So let's see if there's any aspects. And as you can see, there's not much happening. The MC is semi-square the part of fortune, and Mercury is applying to a trine of Jupiter, applying 50 minutes away, which is very, very wide. So looking at that, if there's not much happening, you would go with the favourite, so that's 1.4 India. So looking at the game chart in the middle, with the chart for India, the Republic chart, around the outside, what can we see going on here? You can see India's sun is 5 Aquarius 40, and natally it is square the moon at 5 Taurus 42. Now you see Neptune here at 20 Pisces 39 is exactly very closely semi-square that sun, 1 minute separating, and semi-square the moon. So the Neptune is on the moon-sun midpoint. It can go one of two ways. It can either be relief, dreams coming true, or it can be disappointment. So that is a very important aspect for India. The sun is close to the MC there, not quite close enough to trigger it. The other thing you can see is the part of fortune 18 Pisces 34, very closely opposing Saturn down here at 18 Virgo 47. Now Saturn rules the Indian MC. Saturn is trine Mercury natally, which is good. However, Saturn is sesquiquadrate the Sun and sesquiquadrate the Moon natally. That's what we call a Thor's hammer pattern. I don't particularly like the part of fortune opposing that. A positive for the Indian chart is Mars has just slipped into Scorpio. Very, very powerful in Scorpio, and it is applying to a trine to Uranus. It is one degree away, but Uranus does rule the Aquarian sun, so that's one possible winning indicator. The MC up here at 3 Capricorn is important when we look at Captain Virat Kohli, which we're going to look at right now. Okay, so Virat Kohli, we have a time chart for him. Let's have a look at his chart. So you can see the Sun in Scorpio, very closely aligned with Pluto, very strong willpower and the part of fortune, and he's also got his Mars in Aries at 0 degrees of Aries, which is the most sensitive degree in Aries, so very, very competitive, very, very strong willpower. You can see here Uranus, 12 Taurus 57. He's very fortunate it's not on the ascendant at the start of this game, because Uranus is opposing his sun, separating 2 minutes away and applying to an opposition to Pluto, which rules his Scorpio sun. So that means events beyond his control are conspiring to prevent his ambition of winning this World Cup. So when this is activated, this can be a problem for Virat. Now natally, his Uranus up here at 28 Sag is semi-square a sun, so it's a minor irritation. So this is a bit of a problematic area for Virat Kholi during this tournament. The moon down here at 10 Virgo 57. It's 2 degrees away from getting to Uranus, which is outside the normal length of a 2020 game, unless we go into a super over, so I think he's probably okay there. Saturn up here at 7 Aquarius 13 is applying to a trine to his Venus. Venus rules his MC, so that is positive. And Venus natally is trine Jupiter, and Jupiter is trine the midheaven, so that's a potential winning indicator for Virat Kohli and the Indian team. The concern is this Uranus is very, very close in opposition to his sun. That is a very big concern for the tournament in general, but this game it's very, very close, so that is a problem. Let's have a look at New Zealand. So looking at the chart for New Zealand as a country when it became a dominion in 1907. There's not a great deal happening in this chart. You can see that Neptune up here at 20, Pisces 39, is applying to an opposition to the MC. Now natally, Mercury, which rules the MC, is square Neptune. So Neptune's going to be a bit of a problem. Neptune is also very closely sextile Mars, applying 9 minutes. Mars has a whitish opposition to Neptune, so that is a minor benefit. You can see here Jupiter, 22, Aquarius 37. Now I did mention. Now we mentioned that Mercury at 21:46 Libra is applying to Jupiter in a trine. I believe it's too far away. Jupiter is square the moon of the New Zealand chart, and that can be excessive rejoicing and a very upbeat mood for the public, which is represented by the moon here. Now it is separating. If it was applying, it would be a different story, but it's still quite close there. So if this was a rugby game, which is the most popular sport in New Zealand, the public would have a greater following, but that's definitely a potential positive there. Let's have a look at Captain Kane Williamson. So Kane Williamson is a Leo. His Sun is natally square his Mars and square Pluto. So he's got a Sun, Mars, Pluto combination. Another strong-willed individual like Virat Kohli. And at the start of this game, his Mars is on the ascendant, his Pluto is on the descendant. So this T-square is active and it's pointing to his Sun. So that looks okay to me. We've got Jupiter up here is applying to a quincunx to his Venus. So Jupiter-Venus combinations tend to be good for an emotional state. His Venus natally is conjunct Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to be a positive aspect. However, Venus is opposing Saturn natally and transiting Mercury sort of in the midpoint there. So that's a negative. You do see that Saturn here is applying to his North Node, 5 minutes away. Not sure whether that's a positive or a negative. So if we look at this in summary, there's not much happening in the start of the game as far as aspects are concerned. So that's probably one for India. The Frawley method, there's nothing happening. The concerns I have for India is that part of fortune opposite Saturn and Neptune can go either way. It's aligned with the Sun there for India and also the Moon. So that can go either way, and that Uranus is very closely opposing the Sun for Captain Virat Kohli. However, we do have Mars in a good position for India, and Virat Kohli's Jupiter trying the MC Saturn may be enough to get them home. In New Zealand, that Neptune opposing the MC, sextile Mars, not great. Jupiter square the Moon is separating. If it was applying, I think that would be more of a positive, but it is separating. Kane Williamson does have his T-square triggered at the start of this game, and it is pointing to his Sun. Looking at the stats, New Zealand does have a pretty good record versus India in ICC competitions. India are pretty red-hot favourites to win this game. To actually go ahead and pick an upset here, I probably would like more indicators for New Zealand. I just don't think there's quite enough there, but it should be a great game. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next video.